What's up, everybody? It's Brad from Ghost Gaming, and we are doing the Honda 450 setup. So you're gonna get your Honda 450, and your setup for the Honda 450 is gonna look like this. If you're starting in dead center, for front preload you're going to go 2 to the right, rear preload 2 to the right, front spring 1 to the left, rear spring 1 to the left, front compression 2 to the left, rear compression 1 to the left, front extension dampening 1 to the left, and rear extension dampening 1 to the right. And gear ratio short. Now this is my setup. This is what I prefer. If it's not something you like, it's definitely a good baseline. And the way that I figure these setups up is I try to find a fast track, and I ride and ride and ride and ride until my lap times start dropping. Then I adjust the suspension, and I ride and ride and ride and ride until the lap times start dropping. And I pretty much just keep adjusting the suspension until I either get tired of doing laps or I just can't get faster. For me, it's all about bike control. Some of you, it's all about cornering. Some of you are all about top speed. I prefer stability and cornering. Now you can change these up in all kinds of different ways to make the bike do a whole bunch of different things. In this game versus Supercross 3, to me it feels like the bike is heavier, which is, if you guys all remember my Supercross 3 setups, almost everything was in the negatives. So to the left of center. Because the bike is heavier, I feel like it needs more help. So that's why on my preloads things are positive to help get that bike up and over the jump. Also, the other thing that I have figured out in this game is it's fairly difficult to get back into rhythm if you screw up in a rhythm section. So I adjusted the bike suspension to help me out there. Some of you guys may not have that issue. I do, so I have the suspension set up to kind of help me in that scenario, to where I can get back into rhythm fairly quickly, and it's not a big detriment to me. The other thing that I look at is under high speed braking bumps, you know, how stable is the bike? You don't want the bike to be you don't want the front and back to be bouncing around unevenly, because that means that your bike is unstable. It's not balanced correctly. The front and rear suspension are working against each other at that point rather than with each other. So those are things that you want to look for if you are going to try to do your own. So this is mine. This is a good baseline for people to use if they don't like this setup. Again, this is tailored towards my style of riding in the game. We all ride differently. However, I don't know, for some reason, just like when I did my Supercross 3 setups, a lot of you enjoyed them, you liked them. So hopefully most of you enjoy this. If not, hopefully it at least helps you and gives you a starting point, so you can create your own and get yourself a better bike. The better the bike control is, the faster you're going to become. You can hit the corners harder. You can accelerate out of the corners harder. You can hit the jumps harder. Setups really do make a difference. So this is my setup on the Honda CR 450. Another thing is, like, when you over jump, see how the bike didn't bounce? It just kind of, a lot of people do that. They over jump the finish line jump, which is super common in the Daytona tracks, but you always get that front end bounce, and it bounces you into a wheelie. And then you loop out. So you want to try to get that out of there. So I'm going to come up a little short there, but I don't feel like when I came up short there that it took all of my momentum away like it did on like the stock setup. So that's definitely a plus for me, and probably a plus for most of you. You know, the other thing that I try to do is I want to be able to exit out of the corners. I try to get corner exit really good. I want that back end hooking up nice. But the bike just flows through here really nice. No bouncing, nice and smooth landings. So that's what you're looking for in a bike setup. I did, my first video was a Kawasaki setup. This one's going to be the Honda. I will eventually, as I get credits and am able to upgrade all the bikes and buy them, I'm going to do one for every manufacturer. I'm going to start with the 450s. I'm still up in the air if I should do 250s, because I mean, in Supercross 3 only a handful of you guys asked for them, versus almost all of you guys asked for 450 setups. So if you want me to do 250 setups, throw it down in the comments. And if enough of you comment that you want me to do them, I'll go ahead and do them. It's just, they're time consuming because of the way I do them, because I want them to work. You know, when I do a setup, I'm looking for them to do a certain thing, and it's just time consuming. They're kind of hard to do if you don't understand suspension and how it works, that type of thing. So if you want me to do 250s, comment down that you want me to do 250s. If I get enough of you commenting, I'll go ahead and do the 250 class bikes. But for now, I'm going to stick with the 450s. I will do one for every manufacturer and throw it up there for you guys. That way, doesn't matter what bike you're on, you at least have a good setup starting point. Or maybe you like my setup. You know, whatever. But that's going to be it for the Honda 450 setup. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, follow, share. It'd be greatly appreciated. Until the next video, have a good one, everybody.